Jef, I want you to tell me why I wasn't in the last Spider-Man movie. Damn it. I was supposed to be a Spider-Man because I'm Spider-Man and I am. Hey, Spider-Man. I want him in the movies.
Shout out to J. Jonah Jameson. Why was he not in the last Spider-Man movie?
I don't know.
Spoiler.
You tell me, Spider-Man. I want
he
everybody to go arrest Spider-Man. Get him out of here. He's a criminal. He's a menace. He's terrible.
J.K. Simmons is a great actor, and he should be. I always see him in.
I was in that other Spider-Man movie. You couldn't get me in this one, Sir Spider-Man.
Jef is the mailman who doesn't yeet packages. Griffin is the impersonator of all ages. Jef is the mailman whose pics make him frown. Griffin is the maestro who can't read the rundown. But together as one, they can be beaten by none. It's the walk like a mailman Pivot Show.
No, Law and Order. Every time I see Law and Order, he's supposed to be like some like psychologist type guy, the prosecuting, and then when I see it, all I can think about is, where's Spider-Man?
Do you see him in Whiplash?
No, I have not seen Whiplash.
Oh, dude. Whiplash is a really good movie. He plays a music teacher that is a little on the extreme side.
Okay. Okay, well, we should do some listener submissions. We got to start paying these off. We keep on talking about when people need to recommend it, and then when people have recommended and filled our inbox, I guess we should.
I won an Oscar, damn it! I should have been in the movie.
Let's do one. I know that you're not. Your favorite topic is food, and so we got a Ryan.
Well, I mean, it's been a few weeks since we talked about food, so I guess that's fine.
Yeah, we'll do a Ryan J. He calls his shot. All right. So since Bizarro Foodie Griffin loves talking about food and never likes anything us regular old foodies like, I want to know, and this is for both of y'all, what would be your death row meal?
Oh, I'm glad we picked a topic that wasn't even referenced on the actual pivot sheet, so I could be thinking about it. Okay, great.
I didn't figured it's in the email. You have access to the email too. I'm not. You want me to copy all of the ones that we get over to the pivot spreadsheet too?
Well, if it's a topic we're going to bring up on the show, yeah.
I'm
actually trying to use this stupid sheet.
Okay. I like the additions that you've put on this sheet. I just thought that this was, and I've already, never mind. You know what? Well, let's just get on with the email. Thank you, Ryan. Also, all right, I'm not talking about the Suge Knight death row either. Did you know that Suge Knight, you know who Suge Knight is?
Yes, I know who Suge Knight was in Death Row Records.
Did you
in
know
the early
that
90s.
He played football for the Rebels? Did you know that?
I thought he played college football. I didn't know where he played, but I did not. I guess I didn't know he played for the Rebels.
He did, and he got free books from his scholarship, and his rift was that he would sell his books to make money and then go to the handlers and tell them that he lost or he got his books stolen, so they would give him more books, and then he would sell the books to other students. Yeah, and then he actually, I don't think he was drafted, but he did get picked up as a unsigned free agent for the Rams, the LA Rams. And he has like a box score of 1 tackle like in the NFL, and that's all. But Suge Knight, probably the second most famous UNLV Rebel, right behind Randall Cunningham. And was it Icky Woods? I think is another one. Or whatever. Okay, get back on topic. Back on the mail. Also, speaking of sandwiches, have you tried mayo on grilled cheese instead of butter? I have not. Sounds delicious. Here we go. Oh, you haven't? Well, give it a try and then give us your review. I will do that. I promise.
I will not.
If you want to get a little wild, crush up some hot Cheetos and put that on the outside of the crust with the mayo before grilling. Don't knock it till you try it. Ryan
I am
J.
going to knock it
I-
and not try it.
I have put hot Cheetos in sandwiches, so this is right down my alley. Thank you, Ryan J, for your submission. And for anyone else, email us at walklikeamailman@gmail.com. Keep submitting your pivot topics, but we're gonna pay one off today. We're gonna pay off Ryan J's. We haven't heard from him in a minute on the show. So, what is your death row meal?
I mean, it would probably be like a really good Detroit pizza with like an Oreo cookie shake and a Code Red Mountain Dew.
Ooh, Code Red Mountain Dew coming
Funny
through.
story about this. This question was asked to me once by somebody I was attempting to go out with, and I got ridiculed pretty hard for not picking alcohol in this question.
I don't know if alcohol is allowed. If alcohol was allowed, I would probably have a different answer than if it wasn't. So that would be my response.
But I don't drink, so why would I pick alcohol?
Well, you're gonna be dead in like less than 24 hours. Why don't you like try something new right before your final sailing off into the nether world, or the I don't know, before meeting your maker. Okay, if I had to choose, I would probably. I mean, we've like already talked about like our favorite meals. I would probably go like Philly cheesesteak sandwich. I am a connoisseur of Philly cheesesteaks. I even like to replace the steak meat or the beef with chicken, and then get some peppers, grill some peppers, put them in there, and then get like a provolone cheese. You could do like the cheese whiz that a lot of people advertise. Philly cheesesteak sandwich is right up there. If it's not that, or if I could go a little glamorous on my death row meal, my last meal, I would probably go barbecue ribs alongside my Philly cheesesteak sandwich. So
I love some barbecue ribs. Yeah, nice top Budweiser with it.
I would definitely like my dad's ribs if I could. I'm sure my dad is very happy with the decisions I've made in my life to where I'm on death row. But I would ask for him to make me some barbecue ribs like the way that he used to. I don't know, he probably still does, but when we would gather around the table for barbecue rib night, they would like crock pot these ribs like all day long in like a specific type of brine / juices, like all day long. And then at the right before dinner, he would throw them on the barbecue and slather it with the most heavenly of all the barbecue sauces, and it would create that kind of that crunch / gooey deliciousness on the outside. And Shane's also made similar barbecue ribs for my birthday. So if along those lines, if Shane is listening, when he hears this and gets back to us in 2028, either the type of ribs that Shane or my dad made would probably be in there. And then for the dessert, I would go fried ice cream. I don't know why, it's just top of mind. I haven't had it enough, or I like that little crunchy outside, and I don't know if they do different flavors, but I like mint chocolate chip. I don't know if that is preferred or not preferred with fried ice cream. Maybe if it's not, experiment a little for that. But that'd probably be my death row meal.
Shane is probably the person that would be responsible for you being on death row, Jeff.
On death row. Well, he owes me.
He would be like framing you for his murder.
On his birthday.
Yeah.
Previous pivot topic. I don't know if that was whatever. Yeah, previous pivot topic. The most famous, and I heard this story relayed either on another podcast or another show or on television. I've seen it more than once. There's this famous inmate named Lawrence Russell Brewer in Texas, and he did the most famous, I'm calling it the most famous last meal menu. Have you heard of this?
No, I have not.
Okay. This is a little bit of a story, but I thought this was perfect for Ryan J's question. The inmate was Lawrence Russell Brewer, a white supremacist who was executed in Texas on September 21st, 2011, for the dragging death of James Byrd Jr. His last meal order was absolutely ridiculous. The reported list was 2 chicken fried steaks smothered with gravy and sliced onions, a triple meat bacon cheeseburger with the fixings on the side, a cheese omelet with ground beef, tomatoes, onions, bell peppers, and jalapenos. Oof, all of this. Really good. A large bowl of fried okra with ketchup, 1 pound of barbecue, half a loaf of white bread, 3 fajitas with the fixins, a meat lover's pizza, 3 root beers, 1 pint of Bluebell vanilla ice cream, and to finish it off with a slab of peanut butter fudge with crushed peanuts. And then comes the punchline. When the meal was delivered, Brewer refused to eat any of it. He reportedly told the prison officials that he was simply wasn't hungry. So, take it all back. Take it all back. That incident is actually significant because it directly led Texas to abolish customized last meals. So he ruined it for the rest of us. Texas had allowed condemned prisoners to request specific meals for decades, but State Senator John Whitmire was furious that Brewer had ordered this enormous feast and then didn't touch it. Texas ended the practice in September 2011. Condemned inmates thereafter received the standard prison meal.
Ugh.
Which it doesn't give the thing. I think the maybe where I saw it says A&E did like a report on it, but that's wild to ask her all of those things and just for like the last like screw you, like the double birds, and then going out just to say, oh, take it all back, I'm not hungry.
Yeah, you ruined it for everybody else too.
Yeah, exactly. He really made a mark, like that's the thing. He, the last choice that he had, he made it so that way other people would have to know who he was, because now other people don't get their last meal. So yeah, but what last meal option would you have? Email us at walklikeamailman@gmail.com.
I wonder from you.
Yeah, what kind of food would you choose on your deathbed or your death row menu? So is there anything else that you wanted to talk about here?
Man, my whole schedule is like all out of whack now because I have to go in at 6 in the morning now to start my work day. So everything's just all messed up right now.
So you have to be there at 6?
I have to start my work day at 6 in the morning. So I'm having to wake up at like 4:45 every morning now.
That's not fun. I have to be in at 7. I think it's different for all the different stations across America. I don't think all of us start at 7. I think there's like different variations, like 7, 7:30. Some start at 8. I think a lot of it depends on where you are as far as like the truck delivery route. So if the truck doesn't get there till a little bit later, obviously they have to unload all the mail, and then if the mail is there at 5, 6 o'clock, it takes time for them to break it all down and give it to each of the routes. So then it makes sense that you would start your day at 8. But what would be your perfect like start time for work?
I was kind of good with the 8 to 4 schedule that I had last time.
I agree. The tricky game is that the later you start, the later you get off work. So it would be nice to sleep in every day and not have to go to work till 11. But if I went to work at 11, I wouldn't be getting off work till like 8 o'clock at night. And then I'd usually do 2 to 3 hours of overtime. So I'm literally getting off work at midnight. So obviously 11 is not suitable. So I don't know, an 8 to 9 I think is the sweet spot in there. So you're not getting up at the butt crack of morning, early morning, and then also you get to sleep in a little bit. I don't know. I think that'd be my answer, my final answer.
Yeah, the mosey on in at mosey on in at 8:30, technically 8, but you mosey on in late, so it's just kind of how it goes.
What is your stance on leftovers? Do you do a lot of leftovers like throughout the day? Like, do you do like meal prepping?
Yes, I do
Because
meal prepping and no on leftovers.
oh, so if you don't eat it within your certain time window, then it's gone. You don't hold
I don't do
over
leftovers
anything.
because I'm very portion control with my diet. So like I
You're
buy
like
stuff so it's
you're
no leftover.
you're regimented. Well, if you like went to a restaurant and you asked for something and got more than what you expected for that meal, you wouldn't take that home.
I
And
wouldn't order something that had more than what I asked because I look at my
right.
menus in advance and I know exactly what I'm going to order before I walk into the restaurant.
I don't know. I just think like I feel like would know most times that like, hey, I'm gonna get this much food. I'm this hungry. And sometimes they bring me something and I'm like, oh, that's more than I expected, and then I take it home. And the only point I bring it up is that sometimes I'll be at work and I know that we like have leftovers, like because like for example, Rachel went to a wedding, her cousin's wedding recently, and they did like a huge, almost like a taco bar slash enchilada bar slash Mexican food buffet situation, and the whole wedding went off without a hitch. But they had way extra. They had way so much they couldn't serve all of the tortillas, and so they sent it home with Rachel. Rachel brought home all of these extra tortillas and like meat. I think it's all chicken, like a bag of shredded chicken, and I mean the biggest can. I don't even know how you like where you go, like a Costco sized can of black beans. It's just literally we put it on like on the in our cupboard, and it actually bows the shelf. It's so big, this giant can of beans. Like we're a family of four. Like we could probably work this into every meal, but that's just so much beans. And the same thing with a tub of sour cream. And so Rachel has concocted probably like the largest existence of enchiladas, which I am. Oh, enchiladas! I might have to change my last meal order. I love some enchiladas. But she's made those. So what has happened is now I'm at work. I'm getting through my day, and sometimes I'll take the enchiladas to work. The more specific direction I go in is I'm at work and I'll bring like a PB&J, or I'll just do like my normal like sandwich for lunch. But then I guess it gets later on and I'm like getting hungry and the stomach's I'm like ready to eat. I'm just almost done with work. When I'm driving home, all I can think about is those damn enchiladas. Like, oh, here I come, baby. Like, enchiladas. Like, better pull them out of the fridge. I'm gonna go to town on these bad boys. I'm a big like a enthusiast when it comes to leftovers. Like if we like order pizza and we don't eat all of the pizza slices, that's lunch the next day for me. That's kind of my philosophy.
Yeah, see, I'm a reformed
Obviously,
fat person, so like a lot of that stuff I don't enjoy food the way that other people can enjoy food. I have to be
and
regimented about this stuff or else I'm gonna get overweight and fat again. And I have to always bear that in mind. I can't enjoy food like you guys do.
that is apparently clear on Walk Like a Mailman and the Pivot, is that you perceive food as a different
I mean, that's one of the
a
reasons
different
why obesity is
interaction.
such a problem in this country is because food's too tasty.
It is tasty.
It's
They
way too
feel like
tasty and people eat way too much of it.
yeah, they always say that it's not the type of food, it's the portion.
And they
That's like
deliberately
the
make food to
constant.
be way too tasteful now, and as a result, people eat way too much of it and they get fat.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's obviously like a glaring issue that a lot of people have in our country more than other countries, but I think just in general, it's something that I try to emphasize, on the show or in life, that moderation is key. It's not necessarily starving yourself or staving off being able to eat good things that you enjoy eating. It's just that, eat it in moderation and cut it in half and then eat the other half the next day.
Well,
And
some
that's where
people,
leftovers come
I'm
from.
better at that than I used to be, but I don't like to keep the food in my house sometimes, you know? Some people can't keep the
Yeah.
food in their house or else they overeat. That's how obesity works, dude.
Okay, dude. I'm just saying, I know how it works. I'm been around and know people that fight that battle. As far as the normal kind of thought process that I think that should be going is that, hey, you don't need to eat until you're too full. It's just like, just eat and then move on. Well, whatever. I didn't mean to go down this rabbit hole here. Thank you, Ryan J. So speaking of in the morning, getting ready for work, something happened to me, and I've heard this kind of like urban legend type scenario that you can't sneeze just twice. I know this is like a hard left here, but I've personally experienced this. I'm imagining I'm speaking it into existence to you that you've never heard this.
No, I mean, I know it's like sneezing is one of those things where it takes a few times to get it out of your system. But I have
I
never
think
given like I got to think about the number of times that I've sneezed when I sneeze. Like, I don't think about things
it's
like
like
that.
it's like yawning when you're yawning around someone. It's like contagious. I think sneeze is along the same process. Like once you do it once, it kind of like you don't get it all out in one shot. But the idea that I'm thinking is just that you sneeze once and then you can sneeze 3 times. It might just going crazy. Email us. The 1 and 3 times all the time happens all the time. It is most often than not. But I was thinking about putting it on the list, like on our little pivot spreadsheet, and I thought it would be like. Like, oh, well, I don't think it would be applicable. How are we going to have a conversation about this? And then I sneezed like one time in the morning, and I was like, okay, now that I'm paying attention to it, if I sneezed only twice, I'm going to dispel this rumor. I'm going to get it out of the system, get it out of my head mentally. And I sneezed the second time right before I got into I was getting ready, brushing my teeth, getting my enchiladas for the day. And then so I was like, okay, well, the second time obviously that's not true, and it didn't happen. I was like, okay, well, I dispelled the theory, got in the car, got to work, I put my backpack on, and I grabbed my coffee tumbler from my car. Like I bent down back into my car to grab the coffee tumbler, closed it, locked it, and I turned around to go to work. I sneezed a third time. I was like, oh, it's true. Like, I can't just sneeze twice. And it's happened more times, like, since then. I just think, is that like a body thing? I tried to research it and look it up on Google and AI and everything. They make me seem like I'm, like, completely ludicrous and have a difficult time through life and have no real, like, but how can you even search that? Like, what study is there that this actually does exist? So for anyone out there, have you heard of this? Because I feel like I've heard it before, and then I've like finally put it to test, and I think it's a true thing that you can't just sneeze twice. So let me know if that rings true in the listener's life, in the Lammer's life.
You got me to think about Candyman. Do you know that whole story?
Yeah, isn't it that you can't say like the
You say
Beetlejuice?
Candyman 3 times, and then Candyman shows up in the mirror and kills you.
It's like Beetlejuice. It's the Beetle. Well, I almost did it there. I almost said it a third time. Yeah. I think it's along those lines where you could do it. I don't know.
Don't sneeze too many times, or Candyman will show up.
Hey, and in the movie, once it's said once, it's gonna be said 3 times, right?
Yeah,
Is
they're
there actually
daring
ever
themselves.
But yeah, is there really ever any time in these movies where they make this rule and then they're like, oh, don't do it, and then they actually don't do it? No, like it's violated every single time in those movies. Shout out to Josh, his favorite lawyer. His favorite representation in an investigative interview is Beetlejuice. Do you have anything else that you
I
want
mean,
to?
I thought my Candyman bit was gonna go a little longer, but you kind of just like killed that in like a 2 seconds, basically.
32 seconds. I haven't seen Candyman in so long. Who's the main actor in
Tony
Candyman?
Todd,
Tony Todd. The
scary,
isn't he?
scary African American gentleman with a really haunting voice, but apparently he's like a really nice guy in real life. Because all
Yeah,
these
I
guys are
thought
really
he.
nice guys in real life. They just play these monsters on TV, and it's all the good guys on TV, the dicks in real life.
I think you said that like the people that have no obvious issues on the outside, those are the people that you got to worry about.
Like it's all the weak people that cause the most problems. Like the weak, sissy-minded people, like they cause the most problems. Just look at Obsession and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like
Are you talking about? Did you say Obsession, like the movie?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
an
haven't.
example of it.
I have not seen the movie. I've heard. Well, I haven't heard a lot about it. I've heard that it made a lot of money and it was popular, but I just that's the only details that I've heard about this vehicle.
Well, do you want me to talk more about it, or do we want to go to some topic that we have on the spreadsheet?
Well, okay. What? Who's in Obsession?
Well, the thing is, Obsession is like a bunch of young no-name actors because they filmed this thing for like no money whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a bunch of no-name actors, but now the actors in the movie are starting to get like more roles and things going forward.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's how.
I
I
mean,
mean
they
that's
made
how
this movie for like
Hollywood
seven hundred
works.
fifty thousand dollars. So like it's a bunch of people that we never heard of before. Like Indy Navarrete, she's gonna be like probably in a bunch of movies now going forward as the female character, even though she was the one that was the obsessed person.
And what are they obsessed over?
Well, the whole premise of the movie is that this guy makes a wish, like one of these weird little like one wish gimmick things, and then he wishes this girl will fall in love with him, and that's what happens is that she falls in love with him, and it goes from like 0 to 120 in like 2 seconds.
So it's like a monkey paw type thing where
Kind of like that, yeah. Unintended consequences from the wish.
it's the same idea as the Rick and Morty episode where the devil has the shop where he sells the things, and
Yes,
then Rick opens opens up a store across the street, and he for free will take the things and he will uncurse the items, and that's what it reminds me of.
it is kind of similar to that. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's a pretty good concept. Yeah.
Anyway, Jeff, have you ever heard of this Twitter page called 20-year-old sports?
No, I have not. I know you brought it up with me in the past.
Well, yeah, Taylor was the one who turned me on to this, but there's this posting on X that allows you to like look at what was trending 20 years ago on Twitter at any given moment. And it's kind of like wild to go back and look and see some of these things that happened and look back. Like they were talking about like
What?
20 recently they were talking about 20 years ago that Mike Piazza came back to Shea Stadium for the first time since he left New York.
Yeah, underrated player in my opinion. Mike Piazza. When I got into following baseball, that was probably like my favorite player at that time was Mike Piazza. Obviously, he was on the Dodgers when that was happening. Yeah, probably my favorite or one of my initial favorite baseball players was Mike Piazza.
But it was just like it's like a nostalgia thing that Taylor and I talk about, like how much things were better back then. And I'm just looking back on the things like they have a lot of like Sports Center top tens and stuff. And like another one here was that Roger Goodell was named the commissioner of the NFL today. Literally like 20 years
Yeah,
ago yesterday, he was the commissioner now.
it's weird to like look at this because now I'm looking at it. Now you got me like sucked in on it. Carmelo Anthony left Team USA's exhibition game against Brazil today with an apparent knee injury. It's almost like this page is reporting things that happened exactly 20 years ago. So like
Yeah.
you're getting like a live timeline feed of exactly 20 years ago. That's that's funny.
Yeah, it's just like a crystal
Charlie.
ball.
Speaking of Cleveland Browns, Charlie Fry. Oh man, this guy's gonna light up the league.
I
He's
mean,
ready to lead
Taylor
the
Taylor
Cleveland.
sent one to me of Rich Hill as like a little like young guy, and Rich Hill like was still playing baseball as of like last year. As
Like
like the
Rich
oldest
Hill's the.
player in baseball and grunting every
Isn't
time he
his
pitched.
is it his nickname Dick Mountain?
Yes, because Rich Hill, Dick
Yeah,
Mountain.
Richard. Yeah, Richard Hill. They're synonyms to each other. Oh, that's a good nickname. I
I'm
like
sure
that
Hank
name.
Hill is happy he didn't name his kid Rich Hill. Oh, the boy ain't right.
Yeah, now I don't know how this is trending. Now I'm just like looking at this thing. Oh, Oakland Raiders. I gotta talk about it. The Oakland Raiders defeat the Philadelphia Eagles in the 2006 Hall of Fame game. Oh, that just happened. The next games will be on Thursday, August 10th. Football is back,
You know, but
baby.
the only
With
time the Raiders
Cleveland
win
at
all
Philly.
season.
When it didn't count. So, did you watch? This is a thing that I was gonna bring up for like a tally mark. This is something I wanted to do for like I don't know if you want to do a tally point or a tally mark because we did the home run derby. I gave into that and I lost a point for that. Not a mark, a point. Can you name the quarterback for either the Miami Dolphins? This is like such a representation of like how they're like trying to was it suck for luck? You know what they're calling it now is the March for Arch. Like this is how much these teams are trying to tank right now. Can you name the starting quarterback for the Miami Dolphins or the Arizona Cardinals? And I'll give you a tally point, and if you can't, I'll lose.
Are you
And you
talking
just have to
like
name
20
one.
years ago who they were or who they are
No,
now?
no, today, like this season, who is going to be the starter for? And I'll even give you a hint. We've seen the quarterback for the Cardinals play.
Well, I could have sworn I remembered reading something about Jacoby Brissett signing a deal with the Cardinals.
Yeah, it is Jacoby Brissett is the starter for the Cardinals, and Malik Willis is the quarterback. They went and got rid of Tua, and now Malik Willis is the starter, the week one starter for the Dolphins. Like these teams are almost blatant, and it's harder to tank in the NFL than it is for others because of all of the players are trying to actually succeed in their career to do. You can't just pick up a bunch of no names and do poorly. Like you could have a really good basketball player and still lose the game. It's harder to do that in football. And so the fact that these teams, I mean, they're doing everything they can to get Arch Manning. So yeah, but we saw Jacoby Brissett because wasn't that the year that Andrew Luck just like kissed off and was like, you know what, suck it, I'm not playing anymore, and then we
No,
got
I
stuck.
think I think Andrew Luck was hurt at that point. I don't think he was quite ready to call it a day then.
Yeah, and I saw him play. Speaking of the Dolphins, when Tua got knocked out of the game before, so I saw Jacoby. I've seen Jacoby Brissett play way too many times. That guy is what do they call it? Like when he goes from team to team,
Journeyman?
a a journeyman. Yes, Jacoby Brissett is the biggest journeyman right now. Just getting paychecks every week to march for Arch. But that was it. But yeah, football's back. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you for joining us.
I'm not gonna watch any football games this year and still manage to win your league. That's just how it goes.
Yeah, that's my kind of luck. Suck for luck. Anyway, thank you for joining us on the Pivot, and we'll see you on the main show.
See you guys next week.